Josh, get out of our way.
But I've got to finish up my story on the basketball team for the paper.
Yo, dog, Kenny, chill out, man. Leave him alone. Come on, let's hit the showers.
Do you know what time it is? You said you were coming home early.
I said that to Mom and Dad, not to you.
It's always the same story with you. I know why you don't want to come home. Kenny.
We finally get rid of Mom and Dad, you think I'm gonna sleep at home?
Wait, Shannon. I'll go with you.
No, that's quite all right. You just go.
Let's beat it, Kenny. Are you sticking around?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot a few more baskets.
Okay, whatever. Catch you later.
Obscure was a, well, obscure release back in 2005. It was made by a French development house called Hydravision. It was also very aggressively released for the budget price of $19.99 right off the bat. Its biggest draw was that it was one of the only survival horror game at the time to feature a full-fledged co-op mode. For some reason, the game has risen in price over the years, so it can be a bit expensive to try out on the original PlayStation 2 or Xbox. However, there's a pretty decent Steam version available for a reasonable price. The footage you're seeing is from that Steam version. There was also a sequel released later on, but that will be for another Halloween special. We're having a big draw at the end of this week's specials, and the game we're gonna give away is Until Dawn. The reason I bring this up is that the two titles share something familiar. Both star teenagers, and like most teen horror flicks, Obscure comes with all the cliches. If you're expecting a good plotline with some well-placed twist here, you're gonna be greatly disappointed. On the other hand, if you enjoy B-type horror movies with all their goofiness, Obscure is the perfect game for you. Here are the characters in a nutshell. There's Kenny, the athletic jock. Shannon, the oh-so rebellious but smart sister of Kenny. Ashley is Kenny's girlfriend who's always bitching about everything. Then there's Stan, the guy who's so lazy that he doesn't even realize what's going on even after monsters invade the school. Finally, there's Joss, the journalist type who cares only about finding the scoop of the century. Obscure doesn't try to make any sense, and it's very clear from the beginning. The school that the kids attend is one of the dirtiest buildings you'll ever run across. It's a wonder how the government never shut down this place. The walls are full of feces, for example. Reaching certain rooms requires unlogical steps. If you want to go into a certain area in the men's room, you'd think you would enter the men's change rooms, right? Well, not exactly. In this school, the engineers who designed it wanted to make it a bit more challenging. First, you have to enter the ladies' bathroom because why not? Then, simply go through a wall in the room and voila, objection complete. Don't hire these people if you ever wish to build a house. The gameplay in Obscure is pretty typical stuff. Run around and you'll find locked doors. You need to find keys for said doors in order to advance. While doing all that, you need to try and avoid monsters as much as possible in order to conserve ammunition. Combat is actually pretty cool for its time, as it actually lets you walk and fire your weapon at the same time. Not many survival horror games can claim that. The co-op feature works like a charm. Like most survival games, there's always a safe room somewhere to relax and regroup. Here, the game also lets you switch characters. You can always control two characters at a time, whether you're playing single player or with a friend. Each character also has a unique special skill that enhances the experience. Depending on your preference, you might want to keep a specific character with you at all times because you feel like his ability is too useful to pass on. For example, Josh can tell you if there are still items to be found in a specific room. Obscure is definitely not the spookiest game around. While it does feature its share of cheap jump scares, the fact that this is intended to be played with other players reduces the scare factor. I'm a big baby when it comes to horror games, so I didn't mind at all, but it's worth noting. Obscure is very good to the ears, featuring a full arsenal of orchestrated music done by La Maîtrise des Hauts de Seine, a famous French symphony. It really helps set the moods for various settings in the game. All of these songs can be listened to at any time by simply going into the bonus menu and selecting music. The voice acting is pretty decent, featuring both French and English options. I love it when developers take the time to include multiple language in a video game. Bravo! I feel like I was a bit harsh on Obscure in the past. I originally reviewed it for the old website and gave it a mediocre score. Nowadays I can definitely appreciate the game for what it was. A solid attempt at the co-op survival horror game. Sure, there are better options out there, but let's not forget that this was released at a budget price. For my money, if you're a fan of the genre, it's well worth experiencing Obscure at least once. Be sure to keep it locked to projectcoe.com as tomorrow we tackle an unreleased Super Nintendo gem.